Yeah. Okay, we're in session and cause number 328314. The case is style of state of Texas versus Bobby Moore. We have Mr. Moore appearing via Zoom with his attorney. Give me an affidavit. Mr. Moore,
Yes, sir.
would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Moore, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Moore?
Just fine yourself on.
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Now, Mr. Moore, you're represented here by your attorney, Mr. Nathan Reynolds. Mr. Reynolds, would you be waiving the record in Mr. Moore's case?
So waived, Judge.
Mr. Moore, in clause number 328314, the information in this case alleges that on or about November 5th of 2020, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the class A misdemeanor offense of resisting arrest, search, transportation, in clause number 328314. Mr. Moore, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Moore, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest?
Guilty.
Now, Mr. Moore, I have before me a document that is titled misdemeanor plea admonishment. This is also labeled as State's Exhibit number 1. On page 2 of this document, there are a set of initials on a line next to a box that's checked guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes.
DM.
Yes, sir.
And on the next page of the same document, Mr. Moore, there is a signature above the line that's titled defendant. And did you sign this document?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Moore, I have another document before me. This document is titled the Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. And on this document, Mr. Moore, there is a signature at the bottom above the line that is titled defendant. Mr. Moore, did you sign this document?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Moore, there are 2 boxes that are checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to appeal, which means you're giving up your right to appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Moore, did you sign a document out there that is titled the Discovery Certification?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Moore, prior to signing and initialing these documents that I've just mentioned, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer State's 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No objections, Judge.
Okay, no objections. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Reynolds, you've advised and counseled Mr. Moore. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
None to my knowledge, Judge.
Mr. Moore, your attorney, Mr. Reynolds, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Moore, I would accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that you plead guilty and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
20 days in the county jail. And I'm not certain on the defendant's exact amount of days, but I know it'll be close to around 13 or 14, I believe.
Okay, Mr. Moore, the state is offering that you serve 20 days in the Jefferson County Jail. Mr. Moore, you'll be given credit for any time that you're entitled to get by law on this case. The court cost in this case, Mr. Moore, is $377. Mr. Moore, will you be able to pay the $377?
No, sir.
Okay, Mr. Moore, I have before me a document that is titled Affidavit of Indigency. And this document has a signature where it's Bobby Moore, defendant's signature, and was signed on August the 13th of 2021. Mr. Moore, did you sign this document?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Moore, I see here in this document, there was no finding from the judge in this case because there was, I guess it just had not applicable that was marked in the monthly income and assets and also on expenses. So I need to ask you a couple of questions. Mr. Moore, are you currently working?
No, sir.
Okay, now, Mr. Moore, so you have no income, is that correct?
No, sir.
Now, are you single?
Yes, sir.
And I see here, Mr. Moore, you have one child, is that correct?
I have 3 children, but I have 1 pending.
Yeah, one that's well, yeah, one child that's a dependent between the ages of 0 and 18, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you receive child support for that child?
No, sir.
Now, are you receiving any type of governmental benefits like Medicaid, SSI, or SNAP, TANF, or public housing?
No, sir.
Okay, and do you have any assets? Do you own a home?
No, sir.
Do you own a car?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, Mr. Moore, do you reside with family members? Are you homeless?
Homeless.
Homeless, okay. All right, so Mr. Moore, on the expenses, you don't have any rent, no utilities, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you pay any child support?
Order 2, yes, sir.
How much are you ordered to pay?
215 or something like that, sir, Your Honor. 250. Yes, sir.
250, you say 250?
Yes, sir, I believe so.
Okay. Now your food expenses, do you, somebody provide that for you?
No, sir. I provide myself.
Okay. And how much do you think you spend it on food a month?
It's single, 200-300 a month.
Okay. Okay, you have any transportation costs?
No, sir.
Okay, you have any cell phone bills?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
You don't have any probation or parole fees, do you?
No, sir.
Okay, you don't have any medical expenses
No, sir.
and no credit cards, right?
No, sir.
Okay, Mr. Moore, the court is going to find that you're indigent. And based on that finding of indigency, your court costs of $337 will be waived pursuant to Article 42.15 of Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. Now, Mr. Moore, let me repeat, the state is offering that you serve 20 days in Jefferson County Jail. You'll be given credit for any time that you are entitled to get by law. The court costs of $377 will be waived pursuant to Article 42.15 Texas Code of Criminal Procedure because the court has found that you are indigent. Mr. Moore, do you understand the state's offer and the waiver that has been made by the court?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Moore, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state and with the findings on that you are indigent. The court is going to waive the court costs in this case of $377. Mr. Moore, this will conclude your case. Please follow the bailiff and you have a blessed day.
You too, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, I'm gonna go talk to that Ms.
Okay.
McDaniel.
Okay.